Good morning.
Hey, Seattle.
As always, it's your girls, Jasmine and Shantae.
Welcome to another Thursday morning and another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.
Good morning.
Good morning, Seattle.
Welcome to The Way with Jazz and Tay. We're so happy to be here today.
Yes, it's another Thursday morning. And I'm really ready for the weekend, you guys.
I am too. I went into this week just like exhausted, and I feel like it's kind of just carried me on a exhausted kind of plateau. But here we are.
For sure.
So, Shantae, how was your week last week? Talk to me about it. What'd you do? What was the highlight?
I'm not really going to talk about my week. It's weird. Like, I never really, not that I don't remember the week, but
No,
that's
I
not
know.
the thing that I remember when I come on Thursdays,
Mhm,
you know? So, like, this past weekend, I actually met up with
You're a
my
forward
mom.
thinker.
Yeah, like,
You don't go backwards.
honestly, I think
All right,
what
feel
I
you.
do is I just, like, think about the weekends. Like, I'm like, that's generally where I get most of my, like, activities in, or, like, when I'm doing the most things. And so, like, during the week, I might do stuff, but, like, I feel like by the time I get to the weekend and then back to our Thursday, I'm like, what did I
we
do
Yeah,
last
what
week?
did we
A
even
lot.
do? I feel that.
But yeah, so on Saturday I met up with my mom and brother at the Mopop. They have a Minecraft exhibit right now.
I've been meaning to take my kids to that.
They'll love it.
I know.
Yeah,
Was it amazing?
it was pretty good. Yeah, I still don't really get the whole
The
like
Minecraft
hype.
thing?
Yeah, I don't get the Minecraft thing.
I don't either. They're all into it too. All their
Yeah.
little buddies at school.
Yeah.
And they're talking. I'm like, yeah, I gloss over.
Yeah, but like what I thought was really cool is
You okay over there?
I just burnt my mouth. I'm so sorry.
ah,
Ooh, this coffee is hot.
hate to see it.
Just like the
Ooh.
show. Bam.
Ouch.
Yes.
Ooh.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool, just the kind of the history of it. And at the end, they have a section where you can actually play the game in different levels,
Oh,
and they
that's cool.
explain different things and capabilities that you can do. And there's like, you know, coding abilities within Minecraft. So like it can teach kids how to code.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm like,
So that's what we're doing at school too. I have twin boys that are 9. So that's exactly how like the education's forming for the youngsters in
Right.
the future.
Crazy.
Right.
It's all about this coding theme. It's
Yeah.
like we do it all day here long, and they're training our kids to
Yes.
do it. And
That is
Minecraft
so
is a really good way to do it because
crazy.
it's really blocky. It's like the 8-bit from like the
Right.
Nintendo days
Yeah.
from like me
Yeah.
growing up, and now you see it in full form where they can just get hands on.
yeah.
You don't need an engineer over
And
in
build
Japan
whole
to
Exactly.
figure out how
thing,
to do
Yeah,
it.
and like and also the building aspect of it,
Yeah.
like some of the stuff that I saw, like they showed like a ship and it was built all out of the like Minecraft blocks. And I'm like, I've never understood people who are really good at like building things in games. I'm
Thinking-
like, I don't have
Picking those
that
things up, right?
at
like,
all.
Yeah. That's crazy.
at all. I'm like, because I play Sims, and so like I have a few friends who are like really good builders, and then they like do really great interior design, and I'm like, I just want to do a legacy sim and see if I can make them rich
Yeah.
by the time they die, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah, I totally feel that.
But yeah, no, Anthony loved it, and then we also went and checked out. There's another exhibit that kind of highlights indie video games
Okay.
as well.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's something Revolution or Evolution or something like that. But that was fun too. We played this one game where it was like kind of like think cat dog, but
Okay.
it was 2 people,
Okay.
and then there was 4 controllers, and so you were supposed to work together, but you end up kind of working against each other. So like one person's one head and then the other person's the other head. And the point is to keep the ball on your side with your teammate. But like if you don't know what you're doing, you end up like dragging your friend away while they're trying to like get to the ball. Right.
Yeah, Indie Game Revolution. And of course, Mopop is celebrating 20 years of anniversary there. So
Oh, okay. So
I didn't know
I should
that.
definitely go. I have to stop by there for sure.
Yeah, they've definitely got a lot going on. They've got a tattoo art or body art exhibit right now as well. So there's a few things that you could check out.
Love it. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I also on Friday went to the event that I talked about previously. It was called F Gatekeepers. Yeah, and worked that. That was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of new people. I feel like there were some people that we've met previously at different events, but there were a few new people as well.
Always.
That was fun to see.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my week.
I love it. You got to have like some family time.
Yeah,
What about Margarita Day?
I didn't do margaritas.
What?
Yeah, you want to know what's crazy?
Am I the only one?
Well,
I was
listen.
so hyped for it.
Well, listen, so here's the thing. It was so funny. Like, I ended up, actually, my sister was in town randomly last weekend. And her and her boyfriend were, like, having a day in the city, kind of like being, like, tourists. And I ended up, like, they hit me up to, like, go do brunch or something. So we ended up in doing that. But we ended up at this, like, Asian place. And they didn't have any margaritas there. And throughout the day,
I hear a lot of excuses.
I know,
right
throughout the
now.
day,
A
I
ton.
just...
Yeah, right? Come on.
But I did go to the market. Pike Place Market was beautiful.
Still veering away from what I wanted.
Ended up getting a really, 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 really cute, like $10 bouquet. Because they always have beautiful
They
fresh
do have
flowers.
nice flowers
yeah.
down there.
It was, and they were tulips. And anyone who knows me knows that tulips are my favorite flower. So I have some of those in my room right now. It looks really pretty and they're blooming. But yeah, it was a really good time. I got a like chocolate covered caramel apple.
Yum.
And I'm not a big like sweet person, but I always go to Rocky Mountain Chocolate or whatever that's over there on Pike. And I always get a caramel apple, and I get the like Rocky Road one. So there's like marshmallows
on
and
top
there's like
of that.
nuts and
Were you jacked afterwards?
oh yeah, it's so good.
Run it all around
Like,
Pike
I don't
Place
know,
Market.
yeah.
Like-
And here's the thing, like I actually should not like this because like one, I'm allergic to apples. Like I definitely am allergic to apples.
She does a lot of things that don't make sense.
And and I
I'm just
also
gonna swell up like a balloon, but I like it.
and I'm also not like a
It's
really, really big fan of chocolate. Like I'm not a huge fan of chocolate. So the fact that like this is a staple that I get,
She's also allergic to cats and has a cat.
I love my kitty cat.
This is great.
Hi, hey Ryan. Thanks for tuning in.
Like you're forcing yourself against the things your body doesn't like.
She's like, I'm gonna, allergies change every 7 years.
You know, so I'm and Kitty's almost 7, so I'm hoping
Your
that.
cat's name is Kitty. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I'm
This is
really
deep right here.
really
This is
creative, original.
I love it.
Yeah, so Kitty's almost 7, so I'm hoping that like
great.
maybe within the next few months or the next year, when I cuddle her, it doesn't bother me.
Like in a plastic bubble. Like, so comfortable.
Yeah, but that was good. Like I had a really
Right
good
on.
weekend. I got to see my grandparents. They're getting ready to move. Don't laugh. Okay, now people are laughing at me because of my cat's name.
See,
All
I
right.
told you, it's not
They're
just me.
Everybody laughs anytime you tell them Kitty.
They're like, okay, what's her name? I'm like Kitty.
And they're like,
"Oh."
no, what's the name?
They-
No, yeah, it's Kitty.
The Friends episode, we're like, here, Kitty.
yeah.
Or oh no, it's the other show. The nerd one.
Oh, Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, thank you. Where
Okay,
it's like
cool.
sweet kitty, here,
I was
kitty.
like, you lost me.
My bad.
And then I think the other highlight of my weekend or week was that Black History Month mixer that we'll probably talk a little bit more about later, but that was definitely like a huge highlight.
Definitely. Well, should we get into our game?
Okay, we can get into our game, but I'm kind of nervous.
I'm dead.
Usually I'm really confident going into these like icebreakers, but
It's because I made it up, you guys.
I know. And I'm like, so this is an uncontrolled variable, and I'm just like nervous.
Okay, so we're going to play a new game called Who Am I?
Who am I?
It's a bit of a guessing game.
We're having an existential crisis, clearly.
We're going to draw names out of our cup, and the person who draws the name has to give details about the person on the paper, and the other person has to guess.
Yes.
They have 15 seconds to do so.
Oh, 15 seconds.
Yeah, so it's really on the person that's giving the tidbits as well.
Can we do 20?
Sure.
No. Yeah, can we do 20? I don't know. That's a lot. Oh, okay. No. I'm sorry. Let's not negotiate this.
I don't know. I don't know. We can do 20. 20's fine. All right.
I'll monitor it.
I'm going to say,
Alrighty.
I'll monitor
Jasmine,
20.
you can go ahead and kick it off. Friend.
Okay, here we go. Oops, my bad.
Let me move this.
Ooh, okay. Famous musician, female.
So wait, should we start with
Oh,
the
sorry.
timer
I'm so
first?
sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
And go.
Famous musician, female. She was beat by her husband.
Tina
Big wheels keep
Turner.
on turning. Yes.
Yeah, that was
Woo!
easy.
Also, I created.
She did. She
yeah.
did. That was
Oh.
that one.
That's the one thing.
Okay.
That one was one of hers.
But when she started, I was like, I don't know who this is. This could be anybody.
Ooh, I had to start I had to get you there.
All right.
All right. Set. Go.
She is a famous African American ballet dancer.
Misty Copeland.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay, first of all,
I love.
shake
Okay.
this up
I know,
because these are all the ones that I wrote.
That was
Right,
that
yeah.
was one of hers too.
I feel like we need another producer in here to figure this out. Right.
Right?
No
Okay, ready?
cheating. All right.
This is another one. Gymnast, really little, super amazing, golds everywhere. Black girl.
Douglas.
Yes.
Oh.
How did you keep getting mine?
I feel like I should
You
pick
like
them.
my clue?
Right? Yeah.
Gymnast, really amazing, golds everywhere.
Next week when we do a game like this, we're gonna have Benny do the names.
Like my
I'm
hands
like,
aren't full enough already. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, go.
Oh jeez. Back, I don't even know when this happened. Was it in the 80s?
Rodney King.
Yeah. You also,
What?
Because she wrote that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I just
there's a lot happening in like 80s
okay,
and
so
90s.
So here's my thing. Sorry, but I would have thought that like you would have said like got beat up by the cops. Like
I was trying to give a little bit more backstory than just he got beat up by the cops in the
True.
80s.
True.
But
I feel like we need to have a third or fourth party writing these things out.
absolutely.
We'll have
Okay.
Lucia. We'll have our we'll have our other roommate.
I think I'm done on these, but no, let's go one more. Like I'm just kind of like that's you.
Okay.
Hurry.
Okay, my bad. Oh my God, we both did this one. He's from Seattle, musician Rashida's.
Quincy Jones.
We both. I wrote down Quincy too.
This is the one that I said I only know like one thing.
No, I love that.
And you were like, well, why would you put him? I was like, just because I only know one thing.
So
doesn't mean...
it's funny because like I honestly I had a feeling that doing this we were definitely gonna come up with a few in common, and we were trying to specifically avoid like the obvious go-tos like Beyonce and Obama and stuff. Of
Obama.
course,
always Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, and so I just think it's funny that even us trying to think outside of like our usual box, we still ended up like aligning.
Yes.
So that was pretty fun. Yay! Do you want to? No.
Nah.
We're all done with that one?
It's dead.
All right.
It didn't go as planned,
All right.
at all.
We got it, but that was still like
It was fun.
We tried something new, you guys. This is something that we can add to our wonderful icebreaker repertoire.
Yeah, and I can definitely see it being a lot of fun. We just definitely have to get somebody else to come up with the names for us. All right. Before we get into our review of the week, let's jump into a quick break.
Alrighty, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back. Hey, guys. Welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before our break, we played a new icebreaker called Who Am I? And, the jury, the verdict, we don't know what the
jury's still out.
Thank you. The jury's still out on that one.
Definitely.
But we'll come back, and it's going to be better than ever.
We just do it as a simple like 50-50. It was a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to test that out. We might try that again and see if we can do it better next time. But now we're going to get into our review of the week. And we're going to do a combined one again.
Yes.
Jasmine, why don't you go ahead and kick it off since you kind of chose the
Yeah, no
review.
problem. So, so Kobe Bryant, his memorial happened on Monday, and that's going to be what our review is about. And when him and Gigi and that crash where we lost 7 others originally occurred, we didn't really get to like talk about it. It was a weird one for us, so we kind of wanted to come full circle with it. I was able to watch it live as it happened, and it was honestly a very beautiful way to honor the both of them. It was a very, very beautiful service and ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce was there.
Everybody was there.
Everybody was there, but like I didn't, and like when things like this happen, you kind of learn and see who's celebrity relationships and like who knows who and like how close and those others are, because we don't know these people, we don't know their lives, but
Right.
I had no idea that Beyonce and Jay-Z were close to them like that. I had no idea that Kobe had a love for Beyonce the way that he did. So I thought it was very beautiful that Vanessa chose to have her open the ceremony with EXO and with Halo, and she did an amazing job. So definitely a beautiful way to jumpstart it all. But what did you
Do we ever expect anything less from the queen?
I know, and like it was crazy because she was you could tell she was emotional, but she did not falter, not once. That woman is so professional and can hold her composure. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah. So I watched it a day late because, work
Yeah.
was happening. And I don't know. I will say I appreciate it being able to watch it and stream it after the fact, and there not being any commercials. Because I don't know, like I just felt like I was really able to take it all in, like from person to person. But it was weird for me. I definitely thought that I was gonna be crying almost instantaneously, and I was pretty okay. Like, I only got teary-eyed. I meant to look up the coach's name, but the UConn girls basketball coach that spoke. I don't know why, but he kind of made my eye like tear up a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, here the waterworks come." Yeah, but
Gino Ariema.
yes, so he spoke, and he kind of just spoke about how, he didn't want to come into it talking about basketball, but talking about it as like a father and a dad. Sorry, that's literally the same thing. Father and grandfather and just like a friend.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really impactful.
Yeah, definitely. Another one that really stood out to me was Rob Pelinka when he was speaking about him. He was actually messaging Kobe from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Moments before it happened, and he made a point of noting that Kobe's last human act was that of
An act of kindness.
Thank you, an act of kindness, because he was trying to help one of the other Alta Bellies girls with, like, what was it, baseball or something like that. Yeah,
getting her an internship.
Yeah, and just doing some reach out and help. Like that was the only thing that was like on his mind. He was on his way to go and help coach other groups of amazing young women, all while still trying to help in other ways. Baseball wasn't even his niche, but he was still trying to make that happen. And so that is just it's crazy the memories that people shared with him, how a romantic person that he was, and what such kind of like loving person that he was. I didn't know that about him. I definitely knew growing up that he was perceived as cocky and that was kind of like, just I didn't really know basketball like that, but that's just kind of a perception that I had. And the last few years, and even just throughout all of this happening, learning so much more about the kind of man that he was, what he was into, what he was about. It was touching, and it kind of came full circle. Like, wow, like, yes, he was cocky because he could be. He was an amazing.
I mean, he was.
He did his things on the court because of the sport in itself.
Yeah, right.
But he left the personal side for himself,
right.
for everyone else to like, hey, that's my business.
Like, he was.
That's how it should be.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, is people were saying that, he was also very humble at the same time, like, or he would downplay in times a lot of his accomplishments because, hey, that's not what he was about maybe in that moment. He's there for something else.
I definitely think that, like, the cockiness leaning towards, his athleticism in basketball. Like, if you work as hard as he was working, and like leaving it all out there, if every time that you put everything out there, you have every right to be cocky, because that you're working probably 10 times harder to hone your skills, like 10 times harder than your opponent is.
Exactly.
And everybody knows that. And he'd been doing that since he was 18.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, that's like a switch, right? Like, he was like that on the court because he knew it. And he also worked hard to be that good.
Yeah.
We had to work a lot harder than most because he came into the league, and it was a first for such a young talent to come in the NBA and just forego the whole college scene, which a lot of players get really huge at that point.
Right.
The momentum going into the NBA, which he never did. He went straight from high school into the NBAs and the pros. So it's a whole different world out there.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Sorry. I found it really interesting / intriguing that he kind of self-taught himself a lot of things. Like, there were things that he was like, I want to learn how to do that. And then he would literally go and take every step in action to perfect it and be like the best at it.
Right.
So there was a story told about how he learned how to play, was it
Moonlight Sonata
by
Beethoven?
Thank you, because I was going to say Bach, and I knew that wasn't right. So he taught himself by ear how to play that. Which one, like, did he play piano at all?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Which it seemed like he didn't play piano at all, but maybe he did if he was able to teach himself by ear.
Right.
But that to me was so just like, what? And in like a week span.
And he did that for Vanessa.
Yeah.
Like that also speaks to that.
And then he also, he took up tennis with his, with Rob Pelinka. And Rob was saying that he was automatically better than Kobe. And then like he was starting to come in, after kind of Kobe had realized like, oh, Rob's kind of better than me.
Yeah.
And he said he would come in to the, play tennis with him. And Kobe looked like he had already been there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sweating, dripping with sweat. And he found out that Kobe was taking private lessons so that he could get better at his game. And I just thought like that to me is, I'm always inspired by somebody who sees what they want.
Yeah.
And or what they want to do, and they work hard to get it and they master it, and like I'm not gonna accept anything less than amazingness from myself.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree with that. Alicia Keys herself actually played Moonlight Sonata. They had Christina Aguilera sing Ave Maria, which I finally did my research on, and last night I was like, why do they sing these at funerals or in sad times, and what does it mean? And it's a prayer, and it's kind of like a final prayer, sending, wishing them nothing but the best in the last place that they're going to be. And she sang it very beautifully. I mean, as Christina Aguilera would, didn't expect anything less. But all in all, it was very beautiful. Vanessa, she had her time up there speaking, and that was for me, I think the hardest, because she started off talking about Gigi, and anybody that went up there and started talking about Gigi couldn't get through it without breaking. And that was probably one of the, of course, when children are involved, it's one of the hardest things. But every time, but she spoke so beautifully about them both, and I love the way that she decided to honor them, and the way that she finished it was saying that God knew that they couldn't be without each other, so he had to bring them home together, and that was just so well said and beautifully put. And yeah, Kobe dying and Gianna passing the way that they did, along with the 7 others, is not the way, but the service and the memorial, the celebration of their life.
Yeah, I think some honorable mentions for Jimmy Kimmel for hosting.
Oh, yeah.
Did amazing. I know.
It was hard for him too.
Well, even when it first happened, the news, it was the night after during the Grammys,
Yeah.
right? And so they did a cutaway from him for that show, and Kobe had been on that show 10 times maybe.
Yeah, they were
buds.
Yeah,
they were homies.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm absolutely 100%. I'm sure it was hard for him.
And Vanessa, I believe, learning too. If she asked everybody who spoke, she specifically asked them to speak.
Sure.
Too. So it was definitely
kind of
an
handpicked.
honor.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, totally.
Michael Jordan, of course, did a great job, I thought.
Yeah.
That one was real sad.
That was tough for me because Kobe's the new Michael Jordan
MJ,
of
right?
The new era, and he knew it too.
Yeah,
and that's why Kobe was so passionate on playing ball as hard and as well as he did to overtake the great one of his time.
Right.
There's previous greats, and now there's other greats after on the other side with LeBron and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
of course.
That's why there was that big connection too, along with Shaq, great teammate. I mean,
of course,
yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
unreal. But they did a great job. Great job.
It was
a light. Shantae, say what you said about the light. The pillars. It was beautiful. Come on. It was so beautiful.
I basically said that Kobe was one of our lights in our world. And so now everybody kind of feels like an energy shift. And it's because one of our lights is gone.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Wow. I don't know how to explain it other
but
than
that's,
that.
no,
but
that was,
yeah.
like I said, you said it very well. For those who know, no.
And if you don't, you should know.
moving on.
Moving right along to our hot topic.
Yeah, we're going to shift the mood. But before we jump into our hot topic, let's cut away for a quick break. You are listening to The Way with Jazz and Tay.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before the break, we did a review of the Kobe Bryant and Gigi memorial that aired on the 24th or Monday. And now we're going to kind of switch gears and hopefully turn up the energy level.
Yeah.
And do a recap of our Black History Month.
So kind of excited because I think we definitely made a bigger effort to kind of like celebrate or honor Black History Month than we'd have like in previous years. So big ups to us.
Yeah.
And we tried to do different things too, rather than just like, oh, I'm going to shop at a Black business, or, oh, I'm going to like eat some like soul food. Like, no, we went and did events that were coordinated and orchestrated by Black people,
Right.
You got to see that really cool Northwest Tap Connections, and that's a whole African-American based like tap group. Like, that's awesome,
Mm-hmm.
just outside of the box. So how did we start off the month? What did we do at the beginning? What was going on?
I started it off with watching Black Panther, like,
oh my
2
gosh,
days in.
that's right.
Yeah. I actually watched Black Panther and then watched The Notebook.
Are you serious? Like back to back?
Yeah, in the same night.
Interesting way to follow the two up.
I don't know if you can compete with that. That's tough.
Yeah, so I kicked it off with Black Panther, and I feel like I watched something else after that, and I can't remember. I'd have to go back to my watch list, but pretty much after that, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to try and watch more Black shows and Black films and all of that during this month. So I actually, on Hulu, they have like a genre or
what is it
that you can search by, and it's called Black Stories. I think at one point it was also Black Creators.
That's what I remember seeing.
And under that section or under that genre, there's just all Black television. So I actually would watch, like, if it was a TV show, I'd watch one episode from like each show.
Because it's hard. You can't just like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this show and then the month will be over.
Right.
And that's the only show that you've watched.
So like there were a few that I literally like probably started it and like probably after the first commercial break was like, I'm not going to watch this. The Haves and the Have-Nots by Tyler Perry. Yeah.
Is that like a drama, like a soap opera?
It's like a soap opera, like Young and the Restless.
Okay.
Yeah. It started off with, what looked like an older man meeting up with a prostitute on his birthday, and I was I'm already done.
Did you just say fun?
Yeah. Because hey, if that's not right, if that's not what it's about.
It's my birthday.
Like, it was like a really crazy like intro, and the acting on the very first episode was not that great. So I was like, oh yeah. There's other shows I could be watching. So I think I then like switched it back to Living Single.
Yeah, and we've been kind of like switching back and forth watching that one. We like that one a lot. It kind of like it resonates with us.
Yes.
And we have a few of the characters we can be like, oh, that's definitely me. Or like we know friends in our life or in our circle who are like, oh, she's definitely that character.
Yes.
So Living Single was a fun one. I started watching The Game, which like I had seen The Game here and there. So I had never watched it like through and through. And The Game is good but corny.
It's if you guys don't know what The Game is, we're not talking about an athletic game or the rapper The Game. We're talking about the TV show that was made popular on BET that features Tia Mowry. And basically, it's all about football players and their girlfriends and or wives, the life situation. And it's a sitcom. It's really good. But yeah, we started rewatching that, and it was just funny because I've seen it, the whole thing pretty much. And she's sitting here watching it, and I'm like, just wait.
I know, because
it gets more stupid.
I'm already watching it, and I'm frustrated, and I'm irritated, and I'm like, this is just like, stupid.
If you're irritated now, this is just the beginning. It only gets worse. But keep watching, please.
But yeah, I started watching For Colored Girls.
Oh.
And Because I was trying to honor Black History Month. Our Colored Girls seemed like a great way to jump into it. And boy, was I in for a surprise. There's a lot going on in it. And I don't want to give anything away, but it's definitely something that you have to be in a mindset to watch. You can't, just put it on in the background. It's something that you need to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But that was is that a Tyler Perry one?
It is. So actually for Colored Girls is like it was like not a screenplay, but a book full of like dialogues by different women, and they were different colors, and their situations were different. So actually it's funny. So back in high school, I tried out for the drama club, and I did a dialogue for Colored Girls.
Oh, cool.
Book. Yeah, I don't remember which girl I did, but I remember that because when the movie came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go see this now. Yeah. But the movie is so hard to watch.
Yeah, it's very it's rated R, so it's explicit.
From every aspect. Every
choreo poem? Is that what it was originally done as?
What
I'm looking it up online. It's like a dramatic expression of combined poetry, dance, music, and song.
Yeah.
Originally from the 1975. I didn't even know that was a term.
I was going to say, I didn't know.
Wow. I had no idea.
I learned something new. My mom just had the book.
Okay.
And I was like, this is what I'm going to do for my dialogue, Mom.
Yeah, choreo poem. One word.
With an L?
No, CHOREO poem.
Choreo.
It's like choreographed.
Like yes,
so it's
got it.
Combined.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yes. We saw something. We went to a show and they did something like
Very
that.
Similar.
Actually, yes. It was that event that we went to with Kat, one of those rhyming poetry things.
Yeah.
And somebody was doing like spoken word, but she had movement that went with everything that she was saying. And there was somebody on stage with her that was doing something every time she spoke.
Yep.
And now that I think about it in that sense, I would say that the performance I saw by Northwest Tap Connections at work is a choreo poem because she did spoken word and there was also music, but they were tap dancing to the story that she was telling.
That is definitely a choreo poem. That's definitely a choreo poem.
Yeah.
Look at us coming full circle, you guys.
Yeah.
And we're educating.
It's a learning
right,
episode.
and we're educating ourselves like live on. This is what Black History Month is
and
all about.
This is our mission right here.
Literally, yes. It's happening
Educate
live.
and be educated. But yeah, so For Colored Girls is a really good movie. We should finish it.
Yes, I definitely. Yeah, we have to get into the right. Yeah, we get some wine and.
Yeah.
Pretty big names in it.
Oh, yeah. Janet Jackson's in it. Michael Ealy is in it.
Tandy Newton.
The girl that plays Nina Rose, is that her name?
Oh, I don't know, girl.
She's the voice of Princess and the Frog. I might be saying
Kerry Washington. Is in it? Macy Gray. Felicia Rashad.
Oh my God,
Whoopi
Macy
Goldberg?
Gray. I forgot about that whole scene. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's some big names.
Yeah, that
Never
movie.
forget.
Yeah, watch it. But other good Black shows, Blackish. That one's more new. Star, Empire, of course. Jussie Smollett Gate.
Go back to the podcast for that.
Right. And Everybody Hates Chris. Key and Peele, good ones. Bernie Mac. All of these, and R.I.P. to Bernie Mac.
Yeah. So you guys should check out that Hulu genre.
Yes.
There are a few more days in Black History Month, but why not continue it? Hopefully they don't. I mean, hopefully they don't take the genre away. 'Cause I would love to just be able to easily search for them.
Exactly, I agree.
Other ways that we celebrate it, I like to eat.
Yes.
So of course we went to Catfish Corner one day, and that's located in Skyway.
And that place, I'm telling you, I've never been disappointed. They give you. Like the catfish itself, they give you really great tartar with it, but the catfish itself is seasoned so well. You don't necessarily need it.
You don't really need anything.
Maybe if you like hot sauce, throw some Red Hot on there.
Always.
But it's so good and
Yeah.
it's always hot. They never give you your food cold. Oh.
And then I also went to Fat's Chicken and Waffles this past weekend, and I had catfish again. So. Recurring theme. I had catfish mac and collard greens And Fats Chicken and Waffles, honestly, I'm same as she said with Catfish. I am never disappointed when I go there. The food is always hot and fresh, and I just, like, honestly, I wish I could eat there once a week, but I know it's probably not the best for my, like, for me.
You never know.
So, but yeah, like, shouts out to Fats, and shouts out to Catfish Corner. Fats is in the Central District.
Yeah.
Is it East Cherry?
I wish it
If okay in East Cherry, I think.
Oh, where it is?
Oh, yeah, where Fats is at.
Oh, look.
It's on the corner. It's like 20,
I think it's MLK and Cherry.
something like that. It's in the hood.
Something like that.
We also went to a Black Queer Femme event.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's on MLK
27, 26 East Cherry.
Hey, look at you, girl.
What's good?
You know
I'm
you're
from Seattle now.
Just go with the gut.
You
Right
know
where it
you're
takes you.
I didn't see. I'm born and raised here, and I don't even know these things. I'm terrible. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's by that one building that's got the weird like L shape on it. Yeah, that's where you turn right, and it's there on your left.
But there's a different way of remembering things, right? There's
You're gonna go through
geographic stuff, and then there's streets.
Right. 3 stop signs down the road. You're gonna take a right. There's gonna be a burnt down building. Hit that left. If you see the mangy dog, you've gone too far. Turn around.
Or he'll lead you right to
it. We did. We went to sorry. As we digress. We went to a queer Black femme art show, and that was awesome. There was beautiful, first of all, beautiful people everywhere. All shapes, sizes, colors. I loved it. It was so cool. The music was great. Jess Monique performed. She gave a live performance. That was awesome. They had gumbo. They had gumbo. They made gumbo, and they had options. If you were vegetarian, they had vegetarian gumbo. They also had regular old chicken gumbo, okay?
Yeah.
And it was so good. They had alcohol. You could have bubbly. You could have cocktails. They were doing tattoos. Awesome. Probably one of the coolest Black History Month or related Black events I've been to. What else did we do that was really cool?
So this past week, on Mardi Gras, on the 25th, so Tuesday, we also went to a Black History Month mixer at Remitly, which is on 3rd Ave in downtown. And it was an event for, women of color who work in corporate America. And it was a panel discussion just about navigating corporate America as a woman of color. And it was actually really, really, I had no expectations going into it. But I think that I definitely felt more inspired after the fact, more inspired than I expected to be. Just sitting there and listening to these women who have, these awesome careers and who are doing great things in the community, and, seeing myself essentially and being like, that could also be me.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why representation in general is important, because, we saw there was an attorney there for King County, she was a prosecutor, sorry.
And we loved her.
Yeah, and we just looked at her, and everything she said really resonated with us, and I was like, do I want to be a lawyer now?
Right. Well, what I really appreciated too and took away from that is that you have these events and they do similar spaces where they have a panel and you talk about how to do things in the workplace, but having women of color tell you how to navigate these things in the workplace is completely different,
especially because a lot of the things that they talked about are things that we have dealt with. The number one thing that they said was have you ever been at work and had somebody ask you about your hair?
Right.
And I was like, you would be shocked.
And it's just the fact that that's even a thing. Somebody on the panel was actually, so she is from, she's from Ethiopia. She grew up and she was raised out there and then came out here. And so for her, hair was she didn't grow up with that being an issue or a problem.
Right.
So when she went to school and started getting into these professional spaces and people were asking her about it and things like that, she was so confused.
It's just
what?
hair.
Yeah, what? Good morning.
Hey, Seattle.
As always, it's your girls, Jasmine and Shantae.
Welcome to another Thursday morning and another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.